Good day everyone, we are the group 8 and today we will be discussing the last chapter which is the summary, conclusion, and recommendation. I am Rhea Macy Agusan together with my group mates Hazel Lara, Rachel De Melina, Lester John Velado, and lastly Conrad Bignayan. Content: summary, finding, conclusion, recommendation, references, and appendices. So let's start with summary. So ang summary is a short and brief overview ng isa ka study. Dere gina-highlight sa summary ang main finding, conclusion, and recommendation. Ang summary is nagahatag sa aton sang quick understanding whether ang project or business is feasible. Gina-highlight man dere ang key points related sa 5 aspects ng feasibility study which is ang market feasibility, financial, technical, legal, and last ang environmental. So, let's just put in mind na lang ang summary is like a shortcut for readers para maintindihan nila ang mga essential information bisan hindi na nila pagbasahon ang whole content sang isa ka study. So, may-ari ko di example sang summary. So, here ang example sang summary. So, brief description lang gid sa malipot. And then, next is, gin-isa-isa niya ang 5 ka-aspects sang feasibility study. Steps on how to write a summary. So, first, understand the study. So, before ka magsulat ng summary, make sure nga naintindihan nimo ang inyong study kay para hindi ka dira magpinabuang butang kag nang remember, brief description lang gid ini sa sang inyong study or overview, so malipot lang gid siya. Next is be concise. When we say concise, meaning expressing clearly using few words. So few words lang gid ang imong gamiton. So kung magsulat ka summary, make sure nga straight to the point na wala sang paligoy-ligoy pa. Next is order of importance. So mas start gid sa most crucial points, typically sa market feasibility. And next ang market feasibility is isa-isahon mo na ina or pasunuron mo na ina ang other nga aspects ng feasibility study. Next is use clear language or plain language, means magamit ka sa mga familiar nga words or common na hindi ka magamit sinang mga tinaga or words nga madalom na nga hindi na maintindihan sang imo nga readers. Parehas dabe sang synergy, leverage, and paradigm shift. Instead, may use ka na lang sang common kag inang concrete nga words parehas sang use, collaborate, and change. Kay mas maintindihan inaya sang imo nga readers. Next is highlight recommendation. So, if ang inyong study is nagasuggest ang course of action, then state nyo man na dira. Next step is provide conclusion. So, end your summary with a clear conclusion about sa feasibility sang inyong project or study, whether ipursu bala ini siya ayhan or hindi. Last step is ang revise and proofread. So, tapos nyo sulat inyo nga summary, i-review nyo inadira kay base may mga sala inadira ang spelling kag mga grammatical error. Next is things you shouldn't do when writing a summary. First is ang don't add personal opinions. So, ang summary is hindi ka diri pwede magsulat sang imo yung personal opinion para maka-avoid sang biases. Next is don't use first person pronoun, which is ang I or me magamit ka dira bala magsulat ka sang summary sang I or me, avoid gid ina kay hindi ina siya pwede. So mga third person lang dapat ang imo nga gamiton, which is ang for example the researchers or the proponents conducted or they conducted. Hindi ka dira magbutang sang I conducted kay salain na third person lang gid ina siya dapat. Last is ang don't add new information. So, ang imo nga summary dapat is about lang gid ina siya sa inyo nga study. Hindi ka dira mag-add sa mga new information nga hindi man related sa inyo nga study. Next is ang findings. So, ano ang findings? ang findings mo ni sa ang imo nga na-figure out or imo na-discover sa imo ginstudihan. So, ang findings is real facts ini sila, hindi ni siya sang opinion. Real facts ini nga imo nakuha or nang na-discover samtang nagagather ka sang information. For example, nag-conduct ka sang science experiment para mabalaan kung diin mas better nga naga-grow ang plant kung ang gamit balaayhan is ang sunlight or ang artificial sunlight. So dito sa imo study nahibaluan nimo nga mas naga-grow better ang plants if gamit ang sunlight. So muna siya real facts ina sa kay imo ina siya ginstudihan mo. So nabalaan mo dito nga mas naga-grow better ang plants using sunlight. So muna siya real facts ina sa muna sa ang findings muna siya imo na discover sang nag-conduct ka sang study. Next is how to write a finding. So first, ang inyo diri dapat nga result kung magsulat ka mo is naka past tense kay naga-describe ka mo gani sang outcome. So past tense gid na siya, avoid nga magamit sang present tense. Next is ang kahabaon sang inyo nga finding is nakadepende ini siya sa kung ano kadamuon ang inyo nga na-gather kag na-analyze nga data. Last is only include results nga nang relevant lang gid sa inyo nga research question. So hindi ka na dira magbutang sang kung ano-ano nga hindi malanggali related sa inyo nga research question.
Good morning everyone. I am Hazel T. Lara and I am the next reporter, and my topic is all about conclusion. So, what is conclusion? Conclusion in a feasibility study is a summary of findings and recommendations drawn from the study. It is an important section that provides an overall assessment of the project's viability and helps stakeholders make informed decisions. Writing a strong and effective conclusion is crucial to ensure that the reader understands the potential benefits and risks associated with the project. So, tanang magkitabalan is kung ano ang conclusion. So, dili natin makita ang summary sa bilog nga study. For example, ang mga advantage ka disadvantage atong study, and also the benefits and risks if ever ipa-implement na natin ang atong study. Also, sa conclusion man makita sang reader or sang stakeholders whether the project is viable or not. Next, when writing a conclusion for a feasibility, consider the following guidelines. First, summarize the finding. So, kung mag-ubra kita sa feasibility study, ibutan tagi dapat ang mga main points kag kung anong outcome sang aton nga study. Second, evaluate the strength and weaknesses. So, need natin i-evaluate aton strength kag weaknesses so that ang aton nga readers is aware sa aton nga outcome sa study if kung ano pwede pa nila i-enhance sa aton nga weaknesses. Next, address feasibility criteria. So, diri naman sa address feasibility criteria, it is essential to address the feasibility criteria set for the study. These criteria serve as guidelines to determine whether imo nga study is viable or not. Next, make a recommendation. So, i-ensure lang natin nga when mag-ubra kita recommendation is that your recommendation is supported by the evidence and analysis presented in the study. Lastly, we have the highlight potential benefits or risks. So, diri naman highlights any potential benefits or risks associated with the project. This helps stakeholders understand the potential reward or drawback of proceeding both idea. So, next, kung may ara kita sang guidelines nga mag-ubra sang conclusion sa feasibility, may ara naman kita things to avoid while writing a conclusion for a feasibility study. First, we have avoid introducing new information. So, dire, i-avoid din natin butang sang new information, lalo na if inang information na ina is wala dito sa aton nga natop na naobra na nga study. Dapat mas take lang kita kung anong ara sa aton nga study mo naman aton nang ibutang sa aton conclusion to avoid sang confusion sa aton nga readers. Next, avoid ambiguity. So, diri naman, avoid ambiguity, dapat hindi kita magpaliko-liko na sang istorya, dapat straight to the point na para muna gani para hindi maglasa kag hindi magalingin ang magabasa sa aton nga feasibility. Lastly, avoid bias. Sa avoid bias, the conclusion should be objective and impartial. It should be based on facts, evidence, and analysis presented in the study rather than personal or preferences. So, bali diriya avoid bias. Hindi ka diriya magbutang simoy ang point of view. Kay dapat i-state na lang diri kung ano ang facts kag kung ano ang evidence and analysis presented in the study. The conclusion should provide an unbiased assessment of the feasibility of the project or idea under consideration. That's all. Thank you.
So, good day everyone. In the continuation of our discussion in the chapter 8, I will be discussing the recommendation. A recommendation in a feasibility study is a proposed solution or action that is deemed feasible based on the study's findings and analysis. It is typically a strategic suggestion for decision makers to consider when determining the viability of a project or idea. So it is important to have recommendation because it is useful, especially sa mga person or business person nga gusto i-pursue ang ini nga business. Magahatag isang idea sa ilas kung ano ang ilang i-improve or i-develop. In any businesses or project, conducting a feasibility study is crucial to assist the viability and potential success of the endeavor. In making recommendation, it is important to analyze various aspects such as technical, operational, financial, management, socio-environmental, and market factors. So, in recommendation, we need to consider the 5 major elements of feasibility study. As I mentioned earlier, the technical, financial, management, socio-environmental, and market factors. So, it is important nga i-analyze ta inadanay or aton studihan mayad para balaan naton kung ano ang aton nga i-recommend. Like for example, sa financial, nakita nimo nga mas dako ang imo nga expenses kaysa sa imo nga nag-generate nga income. So, ano bala ang solution or action nga imo ma-recommend para sa mga gusto mag-pursue sang business nga kaangay sini para mas ma-develop nila ang business. How to write recommendation. First, should concrete and specific. Dapat, in writing a recommendation, naka-specific kung ano gidya bala ang imo gina-recommend. Hindi dapat ini nagahatag sa confusion sa reader kung sa diin bala ang imo nga recommendation. Mas better nga ang recommendation is direct to the point. Second is, the recommendation should connect to your conclusion. And lastly, explain how the solution you suggested can contribute to solving the problems you stated. So, in writing a recommendation, you are not only suggesting sang sina nga solution or action, but also gina-state mo dira kung paano ina nga action gidman naka-solve sang problem. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. I am Lester John Velado from BSBA Forcing. And this is the continuation of our report, and my report is about the references. References are sources of information used to support and validate the findings and arguments in a feasibility study. They can include articles, books, data, and other materials that provide evidence and credibility to your study. And Ang references ay diri naka-include ang mga sources nga ginakuhaan sa mga information, kag ang references mo man siya ang need para maga-support kag validate siyang mga findings kag arguments, or in the other hand, it's include the purpose, scope, findings, recommendations, kag ang mga supporting data nga related sa feasibility study. Kag ang references permi ni siya sa last part sang aton nga chapter. Kag sa pagkuha sang references ay responsibilidad ginaton ini nga tama nga magakuha kita sa mga information nga tama gid, kay mo ni siya gawin napakita naton sini sa ginkuhaan naton nga gata kita respeto sa rightful owner, kag para makaligaw kita sa nga makasuhan sa plagiarism kay may ara ka law about diri. Kag mo ni siya ang example sa references, kag ang iya format sini ay APA or American Psychological Association. That's all, sir. Thank you.
So good morning everyone. So this is the last part of our report, and my topic is all about appendices. So when we say appendices, it is an extra items that are included in your document to enhance the primary content. It is very helpful sa mga readers because it offer pertinent information, statistics, or references. So when writing the appendices, you have to follow these steps. So first is determine the content. So in determining the content, the decision should be made on what the additional information, such as raw data, survey questions, detailed calculations, charts, graphs, transcripts, or any other relevant supporting material should be included in the appendices. So next one is the organize the appendices. So when organizing the appendices, you have to group the supplementary materials logically by topic, by sections, or even by chapters in your document. So the next steps is label the appendices. So when labeling the appendices, you have to give each appendix a specific title or label, such as in the appendix A, survey questions, or in the appendix B, it's a raw data analysis, and always keep your numbering scheme constant. So next is the refer to the appendices in the main text. So when referring the information found in the appendices, the main text should include the corresponding appendix label. So for example, you might write for a detailed breakdown for survey responses, see appendix A. So next one is format the appendices. So when formatting the appendices, you should have followed the formatting instructions of publication and institutions, and usually comes with headings, subheadings, captions, and page number for convenient navigation. And the appendices should always be placed after the references or the bibliography. So the last one is include a table of contents. So it is optional. If your document has several appendices, then you might have to think of including a table of contents so that it will be easy for you to find or to look for the titles and page numbers of your document. So here is the examples of appendix A. So the appendix A is the appendix label, and next is the appendix title, and follow for the first paragraph and the next paragraph with intended formatted normally. So that's all for my report.